life can hit like a sledgehammer. But guess what? We hit back harder. Welcome to Affirm That Shit. Somehow, I thrive. I'm Jennifer Rogers, your no BS guide to turning life's toughest moments into badass victories. Ready to flip the script? Let's affirm that life can be a bitch, but somehow we thrive. Hi, it's Jennifer Rogers, your host of the podcast Affirm That Shit. Welcome to the first episode, and welcome to getting to knowing me, you, and others along the way. This podcast is not like any you've heard before. In this podcast, we're going to talk about our shit stories, how we made it through them, how we survived, and how we're thriving today. And that's what shit stands for. Somehow I thrived. I know you did too. When we think about our shit story, we have many, right? We could put our boots on and walk through shit for days. But what got us through? What made us who we are today? For me, it was an 8-year-old little girl who was being sexually abused from the age of 5. I reported my sexual abuse after 3 years of being silent. That's right. From the ages of 5 to 8, I didn't have a voice. I didn't know who to trust. I didn't know how to share my story. I didn't know what to do. And I shouldn't have had to. I shouldn't have had to gone through that shit. But something happened. And I had to tell. And I can tell you today, walking down the stairs from my bedroom to tell my mother what I was going through was one of the hardest days of my life. From the moment of sharing my story to local law enforcement coming to pick me up, taking me to the hospital for a rape exam, it is in my mind as if it happened yesterday and not 35 plus years ago. But what happened to me doesn't define me. And it doesn't define me because I wasn't saved. After my exam and after the report was made, the local law enforcement agency took me and my mother right back to the home, right back into my abuser's arms. Did the abuse stop? Absolutely not. It just changed. But something else happened. Something changed in me as well. And one day, coming home from school in the 2nd grade, as I approached my home, there was a voice inside that said, "Do not go home. It's not safe today." And at 8 years old, I ran away from home. I sought help for myself. And I found my own rescuer. I found my own sanctuary. And I began to dig myself out of shit at 8 years old. But like many of you, I didn't have one trauma or one pile of shit I had to shovel out of. Oh no, that would be a blessing. Life handed me more. And by more, I was dealt a second stepfather who did the same things to me. And it took courage at 14 years old to share again what I was going through. And in this time, the one light that I could focus on was I was going to get out of this. And my way out was with my biological dad. On my 14th birthday of August 31st, 1994, that was the day that I was going to be released from my own prison. I had the day marked on the calendar in a countdown mode. I was ready to go, looking forward to it. But on April 22nd, 1994, just 4 months before my release, my father was killed. He was involved in a drunk driving accident in which he was the pedestrian. I was crushed because in that moment, I knew that the shit had just hit the fan again for me. There was no way out that I could find. The next summer, 1995, I went to live with my grandparents. And I made a mistake that summer. Have you ever made a mistake? Sure, we all have. But I want to encourage you not to judge others by their mistakes, because my mistake was a blessing in disguise. My mistake was attempting to steal. And I'm not going to name the organization today because, honestly, I still like to shop there. But a cousin and I, in all our wisdom at 14 years of age, thought we would steal, of all things, a $4 pair of Dalmatian boxer shorts. We hid them in our bag, but as we made our way up and down the aisles of the store, realization set in, guilt set in, shame set in, and we didn't have the mindset or the courage to steal these $4 pair of Dalmatian boxer shorts. So we put them back. However, when we left the store, we were followed by security or secret shopper or whatever they identify as. And we were brought back through the store to the back room and questioned. And there we were told that they had us on video, me specifically, stealing these shorts. Being the 14-year-old smart mouth girl that I was, I asked for proof of the video because I knew I had not put the shorts in the bag. So I knew that was wrong off the bat. They told me they didn't have to show me the video, that was their proof, not mine. And I said, that's fine. I need you to watch it again because I didn't put the shorts in the bag. And second of all, we actually didn't steal anything. We can take you to the shorts on the shelf where we left them. But what we were told was it was the intent. It was the intent of theft. So my cousin, who was 18, was charged with petty larceny. Me being 14, I was charged with aiding and abetting in petty larceny. And I was sentenced to a program called First Offenders. Now keep in mind, I am arguing about this the whole way because I knew I wasn't guilty. And by God, I was going to prove it. But what I didn't know was I was about to be set free from prison. Everything that I had been carrying since 5 years of age was about to be washed away from me. In this First Offenders program, one of my requirements was I had to attend counseling. I had to attend individual counseling, family counseling, and group counseling for others that were in the program. And it was in my individual and my family counseling that I shared my story of what I had been going through with my second stepfather. That counselor, through the First Offenders program, worked her ass off to make sure I did not return to my mother while she was with my stepfather.
Imagine a space where you let go, where the clamor of the world quiets and you meet your truest self. At Yukio, through sound vibrations, Reiki, and the wisdom of tarot, we help you release what no longer serves you, align with your energy, and renew your spirit. Begin your journey back to yourself today.
So don't judge, because the intent I had to steal a pair of shorts led to my freedom from being abused. I've gone on. I've decided that I'm not going to live in the statistics that the states give to us from those of us that are children of sexual abuse, children of divorced parents, children who are lost because their parents are murdered or killed or struck by a vehicle. I decided I get to choose what I'm going to do in life. You can label me anything you want, but I'm not going to wear any of those things. My way out of my situation was education. It was connection. It was being with people. What can I learn? How can I grow? How can I help? And that is how I survived. That is how I got out of this shit. That is how I thrived. I'm going to ask you to share a moment of silence with me, to take a break, to pause, and just listen. If you're in a position that you can close your eyes and connect with your inner self, please do so. But if you're not, come back to this episode and listen to the affirmations. Every one of us can grow from them. These are ones that helped me get through my shit story, and I know will help you get through yours. So when you're ready, close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Let it out. We'll say 3 of these 3 times each. And we're starting with, I embody my inner phoenix. I embody my inner phoenix. I embody my inner phoenix. My intuition leads the way. My intuition leads the way. My intuition leads the way. I trust my inner voice. I trust my inner voice. I trust my inner voice. Once more with me, a deep breath in and let it out. I want you to listen to your intuition, listen to your inner voice, and to embody your phoenix and rise from the ashes. You may have come through shit. You may still be going through shit. But by coming here and listening to this podcast, we're going to affirm our way out of that shit. Thank you for joining me in the first episode, and I look forward to sharing with you as we move forward.
You just took another step towards owning your story and thriving against all odds. This is Affirm That Shit. Somehow I thrived. If you're ready to keep kicking ass, subscribe now and let's keep breaking barriers together. Remember, life's a battle, but somehow you'll thrive.